I did want to bring up also recruiting. 'Cause, that's such a big part of college football, and it essentially never really stops. It's kind of a year-round thing. Now, obviously, during a regular year, during the season's a big time where you bring recruits into games, the game day atmosphere, all that. How is that going to look for you guys this year? Is it more of like a Zoom thing, like you talked about with your coaches' meetings? Or are you being able to meet with recruits at all? Kind of tell me how that's going.
Right. So whenever the quarantine first started, we really had no idea how long it was going to last. So we're talking to our recruits, which right now, talking to 2021 guys that are seniors in high school right now. Hey, not sure when this will be over, but know that we're definitely excited about you and communicating with them. But we really didn't know where the NCAA was going to head with this dead period process. And long story short, guys, they've continued to extend the recruiting dead period to where we can't have guys on campus. We couldn't have camps this year, which was just completely out of left field, because camps are a great opportunity for a high school athlete to come showcase his skills, to actually meet the coaching staff, to see the facilities. And I love camp because you get to meet a lot of these guys that you're recruiting. It's one thing to see their huddle film. It's one thing to talk to them via Twitter or something like that, but to actually make that in-person connection. And we had been missing that this past year. So it's been a huge challenge, much like the travel and much like the meeting and much like just having a season in and of itself. But we have come up with new ways to kind of get to know our recruits, to continue to reach out to them. One thing that's really innovative that I like is that back in, I guess this was April and May, when we couldn't do the junior visit days and the campus visit days, is that we actually did virtual tours. And so we would have recruits that we're talking to, we would get them on a Zoom call with our position coaches and with our recruiting staff. And we made videos of us kind of showing the facility, showing around Coastal, having professors on to be able to speak with them, kind of giving them the visit experience virtually, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And we had to do that for quite some time. And then the NCAA passed more legislation, since we can't do any of the in-person stuff, that we were able to do FaceTime calls and be FaceTiming them when we're at practice, so they can kind of see what we're doing, which in one perspective, you're getting kind of a closer look at what we actually do, because you're right there in the trenches with us, seeing what an ordinary practice at Coastal Carolina looks like. So the FaceTime calls, the virtual visits, all of those things have kind of had to build up as far as building the relationship with these guys that we're hoping are future Chanticleer football players. The only other thing that as far as recruiting goes, that is just kind of interesting, is I know a lot of high school programs in a lot of different states have actually decided not to play this year.
Right.
And so it saddens me a little bit, because there's a lot of high school athletes that are very, very talented that maybe needed this year to kind of showcase what their skills were to a college coach. And so we've kind of have to be cognizant of that. Joseph and I played together, and I know Joseph will tell you, I saw my most playing time as a senior. I spot played some as a junior, but it was my senior year where I really got to play a whole ton. And I'm thinking to a lot of these kids here that are in the class of 2021, and they're not getting that opportunity right now. So being able to find that game film, and I know some states are looking for that spring season, and so we'll be able to look at some film there. But just like us, the high school players and the high school staffs are having to overcome a lot of obstacles, just like really anybody in our country or in the whole world are having to overcome.